Yo, what's up? I just read this YouTube title and that got me very curious. It's called Terraria's most obscure and weird mechanic, air pressure. Huh? Terraria has air pressure, and if you look at this thumbnail real close, actually you probably can't fucking tell what you're looking at, but it has a fishing rod in the thumbnail. Now, what does this look like to me? To me, this looks like another hidden mechanic in the game that will allow you to micro-optimize the shit out of fishing, or, you know, whatever it affects. Probably more things than just fishing, because why would there be pressure? You know what, let's just watch the video. Why am I even trying to guess what it's about? This is definitely not something I've heard of before.
As you might know, air exists. It is a fluid that surrounds us all, and because of that, it exerts pressure on everything next to it. In real life, air pressure is the highest toward the ground, and decreases quickly as you ascend in altitude. That is, there is physically less air around you as you go up. It's why you can't breathe as easily on mountains, and also why you need to know how to use oxygen masks on planes, just in case the plane's pressurization fails.
Do oxygen masks actually have oxygen in them, or are they straight up bags that you're supposed to use to rebreathe your own air? How do oxygen masks work? This is a tangent, please, just bear with me. Alright, so plain oxygen masks are a straight up chemical reaction that will generate oxygen. That makes sense, that makes sense. I was just curious about that.
This is just how the atmosphere works on the Earth. But of all the real-life mechanics that you'd think they'd add to Terraria, I bet none of you would have thought of air pressure as being one of them.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder what you can do with that. Fuck. See, there's only, like, does it let you fly higher? That would be so fucking cool. Like, if there's a secret way to get, like, a new highest max flight time, or, like, is there another way to beat the Dungeon Guardian with this? Like, there's gotta be something, right?
Like, why? And what's even weirder is that this air pressure or atmospheric density value doesn't even affect the air, or even the player breathing the air.
Does it really just... No. Flying? No, but he said not the player.
It instead affects the water.
I figured that because the thumbnail literally had the fucking fishing rod and the description said fishing, but...
Yeah, weird.
So actually nothing else? It just...
That's because this air pressure factor, also called Atmo in Terraria's code, is a mechanic used to determine fishing power while fishing. Yeah, air pressure determines fishing power.
And nothing else? So, okay, I was right about one thing. You can now micro-optimize fishing, which is cool. I mean, how can you affect air pressure? Is it higher around specific parts of the map? Do you need to be lower in the world to get higher pressure? Oh, I bet I know what it is. I bet I know what it is. I bet I know what it is. Maybe air pressure is how it determines whether you're in, whether you're high enough to be able to get space fish, or whether you're supposed to get fish that spawn on land. Like if you get sky island fish or not. I bet that's it. I would be, bro. Actually, pre-watched if that's the case.
This value affects how many blocks of water you need to avoid a fishing power penalty.
How many? Oh, okay, that's how it works. Right. I got that completely wrong then. Okay, never mind.
If you are very astute, and I mean very, very astute, you might have noticed that the minimum amount of very astute, and I mean very...
Pretty sure almost no one notices this without reading the wiki or source code. Yeah, I'm not pretty sure, 100% sure. I don't think a single person in the world knew that until you made this video. And I say you because I'm, you know, assimilating the video.
Very astute. You might have noticed that the minimum amount of water you need to fish decreases with altitude.
The brick lake has less water than the snow lake. Yeah, it has full fishing power. It's 95 max. I had no idea. Actually, straight up had no idea. So the lower air pressure, the less water you need. Is that it? So you can't even buff out the air pressure above its like default cap? Is this really it? Now, this is a kind of stupid ass useless mechanic, is it not? Does it exist to make it so oceans aren't OP? But they're but oceans by default are definitely going to be max fishing power right away, like max container size, not max fishing power, because you know you need gear for that.
For example, at the bottom of space, 80 blocks of water gives you a massive penalty fishing power, while at the top of the world, you can fish with space.
At the bottom of space, what do you mean?
80 blocks of water give to fish decreases with altitude. For example, at the bottom of space...
So like, oh, that's right, because I just realized something. Because in Terraria, right, you fly up until you leave the atmosphere, and then you hit space where you start floating. I forgot about that.
80 blocks of water gives you a massive penalty fishing power.
Holy shit.
While at the top of the world, you can fish with 80 blocks of water just fine.
So, because you leave the atmosphere. That is so interesting. That is so stupid and completely useless. Does it exist to make sky islands not very good? I want, like, what? Why would they add that? adding a mechanic that doesn't affect the game in any way just feels like a waste of human resources and dev time. Like, there's got to be a reason. I don't believe that it just exists.
All of this weirdness is thanks to the atmo factor, which is a function of height. It is determined through this equation and looks something like this.
I don't need to see it.
Your exact graph.
Not all worlds have the same surface and cavern depth. Not all worlds have the same. The worlds. Okay, I thought you said worlds. Have the same surface and cavern depth. Yeah, that makes sense.
However, will vary depending on the surface height of your world, which you can determine here in T-Edit, as well as the size of your world. So make sure to edit those numbers correctly. If you want to play around with the math, I have a Desmos link in the description, which you can play around.
No
with.
thanks.
But basically, all you need to know is that this factor is almost always 1 in normal play. For example, in this medium world, all the way from the underworld to 572 feet in space.
Sorry, what was that?
Normal play.
In the underworld?
For example,
so in the underworld, you're getting 75% fishing penalty. That is crazy. Okay, so no, there is a way to notice it. There is a way to know about this mechanic. Maybe you wouldn't know that it's called air pressure if you don't read the source code of the wiki, but you would know about this mechanic by seeing the fucking negative percentage penalty. But that is crazy.
Medium world, all the way.
Wait, so lava fishing isn't efficient because you're getting the pressure penalty. Is that right? Oh, well, no, because all you need to do is make a bigger water source, right? Or does it straight up cut your fishing power? I don't understand.
From the underworld to 572 feet.
No, it looks like it just straight up.
The factor is 1, meaning that there is no reduction in the amount of water tiles needed to have full fishing power. You still need a full 300 tiles to fish without a penalty.
Yes.
However, once you cross 572 feet, it begins to change. The tiles required starts to decrease, and thus the amount of fishing power you can get with small amounts of water changes as well.
Why does this exist? This feels like such a useless mechanic to add to your game.
At 572 feet, you have a negative 75% reduction with 75 blocks of water, the same as the wiki says. But at 616 feet, you only have a minus 64% loss, and at 696 feet, you have no loss at all, even with just 75 blocks of water. Either way though, it's pretty strange why this factor exists. It's such a minor part of the game that almost no one notices, and it doesn't—
And yet someone spent their time coding it, and for what? Like, is it straight up just for like the nerds that decide to sift through the code and just notice and like, oh, that's funny?
That doesn't seem to be based too much on reality.
Yeah.
Atmospheric pressure shouldn't have this effect on water in real life. The only thing I could think—
I mean, water is very difficult to compress.
—of is it relating to sky lakes, but I'm pretty sure those have over 300 blocks of water anyway, so I don't know. Either way though, it's an interesting—
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Like, what will affect? I don't think it would affect the game in any way. It's a mechanic. Okay, no. The only explanation, I could think of a few explanations. One, they added it just because they thought it would be cool, and like, why the fuck not? Let's just make it. It takes like 5 minutes of our time to code it in. Two, it was gonna affect the game in some way, and they changed their mind. That is the most logical thing I can think of. Like, straight up, they coded that in, and they were planning to add some interaction with it, maybe make water pools that would be a specific size that generate automatically, or make it difficult to build large water pools or whatever. Like, do some interaction. And then they decided that it's not worth it, but the code doesn't hurt to have in the game, and it takes time to remove, we'll say. Would it though? Nah, it doesn't sound right. How long does it take? Like, maybe if it's already integrated into how fishing works, and it just ended up accidentally being like the base for it or whatever. No, yeah, I'm just gonna assume that they just added it and it ended up being useless, but there's no point wasting your time removing it, so they just kept it in. Super strange.
Interesting, if minor bit of trivia about the game, and I'm pretty
sure a little fact, fun to know.
Most obscure yet. Hello, if you haven't subscribed yet, I ask you to subscribe.
Music pack. Oh, oops. Wrong video. But let me select my own video. Here you go. Music pack, shader, etc. in the description.
Right, over 80% of you are not as of current. Here's a few other similar videos if you enjoyed this one. Either way though, thank you for watching, and good day and goodbye.
Cool, that was fun. That was a weirdly informative video for how short it was, and kind of useless as fuck. Like, I feel like this is kind of like watching TikTok. You learn something, but like, you didn't need to know it. But I'm glad I learned it regardless, because this is fun. Yeah, obviously I just subscribed, hit the like button. Hey guys, go do the same, right? Hit up my description. Useless info. Love it. Okay, yeah, guys, go do the same. You know, if you already watched it, just go leave it a like, maybe rewatch it on mute so that I'm not griefing about reacting to this video, and hit up my link. It's the second link in the description. First link is obviously his own video, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss another reaction video that I do in a minute, as in right now, because well, like every 2 hours I release them 3 a day with 2-hour intervals, or that is the plan. Obviously real life shit happens, I'm not gonna be able to stay 100% consistent, but hey, the outro. Okay, goodbye. Bye.